said, "That's good stuff. That's like candy." Yeah, that's like candy.
Well, you're a pretty good horse. He didn't even bite
Yeah,
you.
he's mannerly.
Roger Smith and his wife Mary Ann have been married now 51 years, and they love their horses. In fact, Roger even won California's Cutting Horse Championship in 1969.
You're going down.
No way.
That, by far, was not all he'd accomplish in the Golden State, though mainly in Hollywood. Before even graduating Old High in 1954, Roger Smith already had experience in Hollywood, having worked there as a gopher for several years thanks to his sister, who'd made it as a dance choreographer. Well, it was about that time Roger's brother-in-law decided to produce a Ren 1010 TV series.
That was the smartest dog I've ever seen. I've never seen a dog that was human. He knew right from left. He just like, if I gave you instruction, it just like a human. I've never seen a dog that you could just talk to.
Roger learned both ends of the camera business. He knew how to fix them and how to shoot, and he says that helped a great deal in landing great jobs, like
The Lucy Show.
She was one of those kind that had the ability to turn on the funny Lucy that you know on the screen, and she had the ability to be a very business person. But she wasn't mean, wasn't rude, but very, very businesslike, you know, when she's producing.
Reed is starting to move in on Balboa. He's going for the knockout.
Roger's career in television and the movies was in full swing by the late 70s when he was asked to film all the fight sequence shots in Rocky II. He'd filmed them in Rockies 3 and 4 as well.
How funny it was that Stallone, I guess it was with Creed or one of those where they did the mouthpiece thing, that he whopped him hard. And Creed just shook his head like that and says, "Okay, Stallone, it's my turn now." And boy, he whopped him too, boy. They both took some pretty good punches, you know. Think about it. I was very fortunate to be able to, you know, be in those situations. That it just, you know, seemed like that one thing led to another, and it opened up doors of opportunity for me.
But that opportunity also led Roger to a very dark time in his life while filming action sequences in the movie The Twilight Zone. At 2:30 in the morning on July 23, 1982, Roger was actually standing out on a helicopter skid outside Los Angeles when everything went wrong.
Things were happening, and here Vic Morrow's grabbed up these two kids because it's probably the bombardment of the village, and he's rescuing them and running across the water, and he's got one under each arm. And so the director calls us, and he's talking to the pilot, telling him to get lower and lower. Well, there wouldn't be a problem if you don't set all the explosions off. And I'm thinking in my own mind, I said, I need to get out of here. I need to get back in that ship. Well, I got this 35-pound camera in my hand.
Somehow, though, Roger ended up back inside the chopper just before it crashed down onto the skid he'd been standing on.
So, I mean, I'd been dead if I had stayed out there.
Well, it was when Roger was on shore, in shock, he realized just what had happened.
And then they dragged the little girl out there, and her mother would come running there because they were sitting on the shore, and she's just, you know, crying her eyes out and wailing, and, you know, I'm going, oh no. And one of the production guys came up there trying to find out where Vic Morrow was, if he was underneath or what, and found half of his body sitting out in the water. And he ran up there, I remember, and grabbed the tarsal and looked, and he, you know, just dropped it, you know, realizing that the top part of his body wasn't there, it was somewhere in the river. And then they found the other kid was under the skid where the helicopter had landed on him. That's what happened. Here you got a layman all he's thinking about is the excitement. Would look great if we would blow this thing up underneath this or wear this. Hey, he's not thinking about the safety aspect of it that causes people to get killed. And OSHA said, you know, enough is enough.
Because Roger and 2 others spoke out publicly for more regulations.
It took the control of the director out of his hands with dangerous things or explosives, that only the powder man could do so.
Well, after speaking out, Roger says the major studios would no longer hire him. His career, though, would go on, and for many more years, with a clear conscience.
Simon & Simon, Murder, She Wrote, Columbo, Airwolf. That was one of my favorites because it was a big action show, and I love to do action.
It was about 18 years ago that Roger and Mary Ann moved back to Wichita Falls and back to a quieter way of life. It's where they love their horses and where Roger, no doubt, looks back on his Hollywood years with pride.
Well, I always tried to do the right thing, and I tried to do the best job I knew how, and I wouldn't settle for, second. I wanted to do it the right way the first time.
And it was because of that spirit and dedication that Roger and Mary Ann were able to bring decades of Hollywood memories back home to Texoma.
Well, we're going to have to come back and feed the rest of these ponies. You going to do it for me, hon?
Of course.